Welcome again to Senior Care on TV. And today I'm going to be presenting you with stories, real life stories from people like you, older people, our viewers. You're going to hear the story of Jerry. Jerry is 91 years old. He's full of energy. He's full of life. Jerry is a type of an older person that you aspire to be like. He's independent, he lives alone, he still drives, and he's full of life. Welcome to Senior Care Channel. This is a resource center for seniors. Today we're going to be, we have Mr. Jerry with us. Mr. Jerry is 91 years old and is doing very great by himself. He still drives, he lives by himself, he does not require any assistance of any kind. He goes shopping by himself. Mr. Jerry, you're welcome on board.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, the audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm not quite 91. I'll be 91 in September. I was born in 1922, and I was a sales factory representative for a company for many years, and then I retired in about 1982, I guess it was, And I've done a few things since then. I won't do any detail, but for the last 10 years I haven't pretty much done, I haven't worked at all, so. And I've been living alone since my wife deceased several years ago. I happen to have family close by that, in case I ever need help of any kind, which, as things stand now, I'm in good shape.
That's great.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that.
Right, yes.
Yeah. So what is your daily routine like?
Well, I get up at about, I don't usually go to bed till about 11 o'clock, and I wake up about 5, and after I shower and shave and all that stuff, I go over to a mall in our town and hang out with several people, and we discuss the problems of the day and rip everybody apart that we don't like. And then once in a while we go out to lunch, several of the guys and myself.
So you still have contact with...
Yes, and I have a family that I see. I have several children, a lot of grandchildren, and I see all of them, frequently.
That's amazing. You at the age of you approaching 91.
Yes.
And how long have you lived alone by yourself?
I've lived alone for myself for 17 years.
For 17 years.
Right.
And can you describe what it was like when you first had to,
Well, at first it was very lonely after my wife passed away, but I stayed that way for several years, and then I met a nice lady, and we had kept company for several years, and then she finally passed away. But I have family close by, and I survive. I get along.
Good.
I watch a lot of television. I do a lot of reading, and.
And do you go out a lot?
Yes, I go out quite a bit. Yes.
You still drive, right?
Oh yes. I used to drive up to New England by myself. I have a place somewhere up in the north, but I don't drive up alone anymore. Usually my kids go with me, or else they'll go up there, spend a couple of weeks in the summertime, and I go with them. But I don't drive anymore alone.
Okay.
That kind of distance. Locally from here and say into Queens or something, no problem, but I'm not going to drive 400 miles by myself.
Okay, so you can drive up to 25 miles?
I could do it, but they don't want me to, and I don't think I should at my age,
Oh, okay.
But, locally or even from here to the Hamptons or something like that, it wouldn't bother me any to drive that far.
Has there been a concern about your safety when you drive?
Well, they're afraid that something might happen, and I'll be alone. that's the way kids are, you know.
And do you have any concern about your health, managing your health?
No, I have the usual problems, you know, but I see my doctor every 3 months, and you know, so far I'm doing fine. I don't have any diabetes or any of those diseases, so I'm very lucky in that way, you know.
And what do you do to keep your health? I mean, how do you?
Well, I used to do a lot more, but I had a hip operation about 5 years ago, which came out fine. But and I used to do a lot of walking, but I don't walk as much. I used to walk about 4 miles a day, and I don't do that much anymore.
When was the last time you walked around?
Well, as I said, well, I still walk, but I mean, I don't walk 4 miles
4
anymore,
miles.
you know.
Okay.
So, but you know, and I get a little bit of exercise, you know, every day when I.
By yourself, or you go out?
Well, I when I usually work out in this mall that's nearby to us, I'll go over there and I do exercises off in a corner somewhere where I don't like to make a spectacle of myself.
That's. Is there a secret to having, you know, a good, healthy life?
Yeah, have good genes. That's about it. My mother lived to be 96 years old.
Okay.
And my father was 82 when he died, so you know. And my family, I had a sister. She didn't die till she was 88, and another brother that was 82 when he died. And there's, and I still have one brother that's still alive, and he's 85.
Okay.
And he's in great shape.
Okay. So do you think that you're in great shape, or you're, you know, because of your genes, or because of the lifestyle?
Well, I think it's a combination. I was pretty athletic when I was younger, but I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
I don't think it's just by chance. I think it has a lot to do. I think probably more than the being an athlete. I think the genes is what makes a difference.
Oh, okay. What about your diet?
Well, one thing I don't eat much of rarely anymore, is red meat.
Okay.
I stay away from that as much as possible.
Why is that?
Well, because it's not good for you. I know that, and I don't even miss it. I used to be a big eater, but I don't eat that much anymore. My meals usually consist of salad, and sometimes just a soup and some cheese and crackers.
Wow.
And I always have to have my cocktail before dinner, you know. So that.
So do you receive any help with the daily chores, like cooking, like?
No, I do all my own. But the thing is, I have a daughter that lives close by, and lots of times she'll invite me for dinner, or else she'll send food down. But on an average, I eat by myself at least 5 nights a week.
Oh, okay.
No problem. You know.
And you prepare the meals yourself?
Yes, yeah.
And
Sometimes I make a mixed salad. I used to make once in a while make some meatloaf, but I haven't done that in over a year.
Okay.
So I stay away from red meat. I eat chicken a lot.
Okay.
And fish, but no red meat. Very little. I haven't had a hamburger, and I can't remember the last time.
Wow. Have you had any difficult challenge that would make you wonder if you would, you know, be okay living by yourself?
No, not really.
Okay. So there is no, I mean, you're doing fine by yourself right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to the viewers, you know, in terms of, you know, because there are so many.
Well, if they're, you know, I mean, if you're at the stage where you have to walk around with a cane or a walker or something, you know, I think you have to have something like people have. I don't even have a cell phone. I can't be bothered with it, you know.
Oh, okay.
But I think if you're in that kind of shape, you have to have every kind of protection. But if you can get around by yourself and you don't have any heart problems or anything like that, you know, live alone. If you know, unless you have some psychological problems that you can't stand being alone,
yeah.
You know.
And what about the support that you get from your family?
Oh, unbelievable! I have kids. They all happen to be in education, and they all doing very well financially. So I have no problem. They have no problem. And whenever we go anywhere, they won't let me spend a nickel.
Oh.
They say to me,
good.
"Dad, when was the last time you got a paycheck?" And they said, "I get one every week," you know. So.
So that's good. That's good. Do they come to visit you
Oh,
frequently?
a lot. Yes, very much. Yes.
And you maintain phone calls?
Well, them no, they're all, as well as their wives. The sons are all great cooks. and we'll bring this table in, bring it in here and set it up, and usually about 12 people, 14 people eat, and they cook everything, and I don't do a thing. I just sit there. And
That's great. So do you
I'm
have
very lucky. I can't complain.
Yeah. So what is your quality of life? What is it like?
Well, as my family would say to me, I'm looking for what they call arm candy, if you know what that is.
No.
Well, a good-looking woman. But they tell me, Dad, when you get to your age, you can't be, not going to find too many.
I mean, have you been going to like senior centers? I mean,
No, I don't believe in any of that. I don't feel sitting around with a bunch of old fogies and listening to their bones creaking and everything else.
I mean, they might have something interesting that you guys, might share together.
Oh no! As I say, there were a couple of women that that sit with us, but they're nothing there. One of them has a husband, the other one doesn't. But there's nothing there. But my kids used to say to me, the problem with you, Dad, you only like good-looking women. I said, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. That is right. So now you have your best resources. What would you describe as your best resources? Is it people?
My best resources?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, you have your family. You have.
Oh yeah,
support.
absolutely. Yeah. I thought you meant my personal.
No.
Absolutely. My family is. I mean, that to me is. When I hear stories about brothers that don't talk to each other or something, I mean, I had 3 brothers. I forgot to mention one of them. He was the youngest one. There's a picture of him over there, which I won't show to anybody. But he was a great guy. He died young. He was only 80 when he died. But I say young.
Yeah.
But to me, the most important thing in the world is your family. And anybody that tells me that I haven't talked to my mother, or I haven't talked to my sister or my brother or something, I think they're idiots, because life is too short.
It is.
It doesn't pay.
Wow.
It's pointless.
So you said life is too short. What do you mean by that?
Well, just what I say. I mean, you hear families where somebody say, I haven't talked to my brother, I haven't talked to my sister in 5 years. Well, supposing they died all of a sudden, and then you feel like, well, what a dope, I should have said something, I never did,
Yeah.
You never know, There's no guarantees.
Yeah.
So it's just, to me, it's pointless,
So what advice would you give to, people watching you at this time?
Well, I'm no expert, but I would say that if you have brothers or sisters or your mother or father, always, respect them, and don't ever get to the point where you don't talk to each other, because you'll always regret it.
Yeah.
At least I think you will.
That's true. I mean, we, you've been doing great well, you've been doing very well, living, by yourself. Do you have any plan if anything, happened, God forbid?
You mean, I've taken care of everything.
Okay.
I, work with the detail, but
I mean, if you need help, for example, if you need help, at this instant, or that you can no longer, drive, what's...
Well, I don't look forward to that.
Okay.
I don't know what would... I mean, I suppose if I couldn't drive anymore, I'd probably be in the kind of shape that I'd be glad that I wasn't driving, but I don't,
So life is still, you're still, very optimistic and looking positive, but,
Yeah, well, I hope to live a while longer.
That's true. And even right now, the centenarians, people that live over 100 years old.
I don't know about that, but I don't know. I mean, if I felt as good as I feel now, that's fine. But if I was like, just a vegetable or something and still alive at 100, that's, to me, is a joke.
I mean, at 91, you still look great.
Yeah.
I mean, talking of how you feel right now, can you describe that? How do you feel right now?
I feel fine. I mean, and it's all because of the genes on my mother's side, basically, I would say,
I mean, if you, looking at the genes and the fact that you are in great shape and you feel fine, and, a lot of people are living up to 100 and they still look great. Still look great. So,
I haven't met any of them.
You haven't?
No, they look great at 100.
Yeah, I met
Most of
a
them look
woman.
like plucked chickens.
Well, there's some of them.
At 100, I mean.
Yeah, at 100. So, I mean, what about, now a lot of people, there is this, we have almost, 1 million, Americans that are approaching,
Right, yeah.
100.
Right,
And, this thing.
Well, I think there's something going on because my mother was 80. She was 96. Let's say 80. She was 96 when she died, and up until she didn't go into a nursing home until she was 88. She never should have gone in even at that age. She was a hypochondriac. She was Irish.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and father were born in Ireland. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say, something about.
Something about people approaching 100.
Yeah. I don't know. We got off on a subject, something else, But anyway, I wouldn't want to live. I don't think I'd want to live to be 100. Oh, I know what I was going to say. She was fine until she went into the nursing home, and after she was in there a couple of years, she started to go downhill. I think those places, it's not good for you,
I mean, people go to nursing home to receive medical care.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with her. That's what I was going to say. She lived to be 96 years old. My father died at 82. Neither of them had cancer. Neither of them ever had, well, my father had a pacemaker in him, but they never had, he never had a real heart attack. He just had a pacemaker in him. But today, and they never had skin cancer. I don't remember them. I was just talking to my brother the other day. I said, do you remember them ever taking a pill? He said, no. I said, neither do I. And I mean, I take pills. I take pills for cholesterol and for blood pressure, but almost everybody does at my age. But they never took anything. Now, what do you count for that? I mean, that's not just their genes. I think there's something today. There's so much junk in our food and our, that we buy that I think it's affected people.
Yeah.
I mean, cancer today. You hear of, I don't know of a family that's never been touched by it. Everybody. And it was rare when I was a kid.
Yeah.
At least unless they hit it or something, but I don't know. So.
I mean, that is a food for thought.
Yeah, well, it's terrible. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, here's a woman, 96 years old, and never, she never had anything wrong with her. She never had a heart condition. She never had, she's just ready to look for a fight every time you looked at her.
Very active. Do you have any medical insurance? Do you have any concerns with your insurance?
No, I'm a veteran. I was in the Marine Corps World War II, so I get any kind of medical benefits that I want for. But I do go to my own doctors. I don't go over there. But
Okay.
I just get the drug from them,
Okay.
which I get at a reduced price because they cost me a fortune if I had to pay for them
Yeah.
on the open market.
Yeah.
Well, almost any veteran will tell you that.
Okay.
I pay $9 for each, for every drug that I take for every 30 days, and that's it.
That's good.
Now I have some, that cost you a couple $100 a month, each
Mhm.
one of them, so
Yeah.
ends up costing you $5,000 or $6,000 a year just for
Yeah.
medication,
For
which
just
is
for
ridiculous.
medication, yeah.
And this is what I feel about people. What happens if they're not a veteran or something? They got to pay that,
Mhm.
and they don't have a big income. They're out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people, they have Medicare that pays for.
Well,
the
yeah,
most.
but even with
That's
Medicare,
With
there's
the
a lot of
prescription
drugs that
drug.
they don't pay for.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't pay for everything.
So that's,
As a matter of fact, I remember about 2 years ago, I got a shot for shingles. I went to my doctor, and he told me, he said, well, I can give it to you, but it costs over $200. So I called the VA. I said, do you have a shot, do you give a shot for shingles? They said, yes, but you have to wait until we give it. So I had to wait a couple of months, but when I got the shot, it cost me $9.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
So.
And most people that don't have insurance,
Well, especially a young person that's under, 65,
yeah,
well, and insurance today costs a fortune.
it is, yeah.
A lot of
yeah.
money.
So thank you so much for
Okay.
having us on this program. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
No, that's it.
That's it. Thank you.